channel. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. Glad to see you on this side of the internet. As you can see from the title and thumbnail, we have a lot of good stuff to unpack for today's video. We'll be going over everything you need to know about hosting Thanksgiving, all the preparations, how to create ambiance and make sure your home is nice and cozy for your guests. Basically an ultimate guide for hosting your very first Thanksgiving and making sure you have an amazing time with your friends and family. So I've segmented out this video into three main parts. The first part is going to be ambiance, how to create the perfect cozy Thanksgiving ambiance for your guests, what type of decoration items you should do, how to decorate your dining table, what playlists you should use, what types of smells you should use. The second part is the dining experience. Obviously, Thanksgiving is about being thankful and spending time with your family, but it's also about the yummy, delicious foods that you're going to eat. So with that in mind, I've designed a 3-course meal that you can serve for your Thanksgiving this year. The last piece is basically miscellaneous. So tips, tricks, activities you can do, also checklists that maybe you can prepare, a grocery list, anything that you need to prepare beforehand so that for the actual Thanksgiving day, you don't have anything to worry about. You've already checked everything off of your list and you're ready to just have an amazing time with your family. All right, so I don't want to make this video any longer than it has to be, so let's get to it. First thing you think about when you think about ambiance is obviously decoration. So how do I decorate my home to make it feel really homey and warm and Thanksgiving? I want to show you guys what I did to the front of the house. That's the very first impression that your guests are going to have of your home. You want to show everybody what's outside? You want to go show them? Okay, what do you do then? What do you do? What did you say? So as you can see, I tried to put an archway with some garlands that I got from Michael's. They were like 50 or 75% off. You can also find them on Shein or Temu for much cheaper. I have a video linked right up here somewhere where you can see how I made it with my husband last year. This year, however, we did it a little bit differently. It's a lot easier, to be honest.
We just drilled some hangers we got from Home Depot directly to the ceiling, then hooked the garlands directly to those hangers. I also added a wreath, a pumpkin mat that says welcome, and some additional decoration items that I got from Walmart and Michael's.
I want to show you guys what the rest of the house looks like.
So starting off with the living room. Now obviously the living room for most households is where everybody comes together and spends time as a family. So I decorated my living room with the Michael's garland as well as these pumpkins that are also from Michael's. And then that little pumpkin on the top is from Dollar Tree actually. So this whole thing is probably less than 30 bucks in total. It's fairly simple but looks really nice and cozy. For the coffee table, I mixed and matched a couple of items that I got from Walmart, Michael's, and Marshall's, and I created this cute little centerpiece. Now you can also go more overboard than I did by adding some plush cushions to the couch or a nice cozy blanket, even some autumn flowers like mums or chrysanthemums. Unfortunately, I have a crazy husky as a pet, so she would destroy all plants and plushies she can find.
Okay, are you good now? Are you gonna be...
Another important area is your kitchen. Now, this is what my kitchen looks like. I didn't make too many changes here. I just added a couple little details like this pumpkin and orange candle holder. I also had added this little Mickey candle holder that looks really cute. You can definitely go a lot more overboard than I did, so here are a couple of inspo pics. And most of these items you can actually find in your major stores like Walmart, Safeway, Target, Dollar Tree, Dollar Store. Last but certainly not least, we've got the dining room. Now here's where the magic happens, right? This is where your friends and family will get together for the fun activities you have planned, as well as eating all of the delicious food that you've made. This is what my dining table typically looks like. We're gonna ignore my dog that's running around in the back. I've made 2 designs. So one is an everyday look and the other one is the actual Thanksgiving dinner table look. For the everyday look, I got this table runner from Marshall's. I think I got it for $10. I didn't feel like it was fall themed enough, so I also added the other Mickey candle holder I had, and voila, a cute, simple everyday fall look for your dinner table. Now on to the Thanksgiving dinner table. So I kept the table runner that I got from Marshall's, then I added the fall garland. Again, I got that garland from Michael's. Then I added these candles. I think I got them from Shein a long time ago, but you can get them from Home Depot or Michael's. By the way, shout out to my husband. He actually made this table. I'll probably post a DIY soon. Lastly, you'll want to add in your plates. I got these plates from Dollar Tree. I've had them for over a year and they're super sturdy. They're still perfect, so I definitely recommend them. And they come in these beautiful fall themes with bowl options and these smaller plates for your dessert. I did a couple of different plate settings so you can get an idea of how you can set up your plates if any of your guests are drinking alcohol versus not drinking alcohol, if they're eating dessert versus not eating dessert. The only thing that I didn't add here that I would recommend is having a cloth or napkin holder like these. Your guests will need it and it elevates your dining table further. But here it is all together. I absolutely loved how this turned out. It looks so cute and I can't wait for Thanksgiving.
Which brings me to the second part of creating ambiance, which is smells. I'm a little bit obsessed with candles and air fresheners, so I have air fresheners all throughout the house.
A great way to get your guests immersed into Thanksgiving is by switching out your regular air freshener scents for fall themed scents. You could even incorporate as part of your decorations some candles or potpourri or even diffusers, and it'll make your house smell amazing.
Now, the third thing you want to think about, and you probably already noticed there's a theme here, is sound. I'll add a link down below of all of the playlists that I found that I personally thought were really sweet and cozy for Thanksgiving.
Also, you can just search on YouTube fall playlist, cozy fall playlist, Thanksgiving playlist, and you'll find a ton of different options.
Other cool thing is that you're basically using your TV as an additional visual cue or an additional decoration item for your living room,
which just makes the whole decoration that much cozier. And that's a wrap on ambiance.
So let's talk about my personal favorite part, which is all of our recipes. Let's start off with our appetizer, which is such an easy dish. It's the classic pigs in a blanket. There are only 2 ingredients for this dish. It's super easy. It's just some dough. So I got the Pillsbury Crescent dough, and I got these mini beef little smokies, so beef smoked sausages.
You'll start off by opening up your dough. Ignore how my husband and I were struggling to open this. Then you'll want to unwrap your dough. Then you're going to grab one of the triangles and you're going to cut that into 3 smaller pieces. Once that's done, you'll grab your mini sausages and then you'll roll them up into the dough. You can then butter the dough with some unsalted butter. I use garlic butter for additional flavor. If you're using an air fryer like me, you can preheat it to 375 degrees for a minute or 2 and then bake it for just 5 minutes and voila, your pigs in a blanket are done. If you're using a conventional oven, it might take a little bit longer, but just make sure that it turns out golden brown like this. On to our delicious main dish, which is this juicy roasted chicken. I'll be sending it over to my husband because he's the chef in our household. So take it away, Chris.
Just made a little hole here. And then I'm going to add a little bit of the sauce.
This is a Lisano sauce.
Quick pause to add some details here. So the Lisano sauce, that's actually a sauce from Costa Rica. It's their version of Worcester sauce.
Worcester sauce.
So you can just substitute it for that. I'll talk a little bit more about this in the tips section, but don't forget to defrost your chicken beforehand. This might take a day or 3 days depending on the size of your chicken, so don't forget.
Let it spread. I'm gonna let this marinate all night. Space here.
After you let your chicken marinate all night, the next day you'll want to preheat your oven to 400 degrees. This bad boy is going to stay about an hour and a half in the oven. So make sure that you're preheating about 2.5 hours before dinner time. So here are all the ingredients that you're going to need for your roasted chicken. I'll add the recipe down below just to make it a little bit easier for you. We're going to start off by chopping all of the vegetables.
understand why the French would call it pomme de terre. Because they do look like apples.
After you're done chopping your vegetables, you can then put them inside of your roaster or cast iron. Then you can stuff the rest of your vegetables inside of the chicken cavity. Now to make your butter mixture, so to a mixing bowl you can add butter, garlic, lemon, thyme, and some salt and pepper. We actually used olive oil because we ran out of butter. Don't forget to pat down the chicken so it can stay nice and crisp. Then you can rub the melted butter mixture to the chicken skin. Place your chicken in the oven and let it roast for an hour and 15 minutes to an hour and a half. Don't forget to baste it every 30 minutes to make sure that it retains that moisture and flavor. Once the chicken is done, remove it from the oven and let it rest for 10 to 15 minutes. And then voila, your chicken is ready to carve and serve. As a side dish, we made some mashed potatoes, and it's honestly such an easy dish to make. All you need is to grab some of your leftover potatoes from your roasted chicken recipe, peel and chop them. My husband does this hack where he puts them in a microwavable bowl with a microwavable plate on top and then heats it for 5 minutes. He'll shuffle it around and then microwave it for another 5 minutes. This softens the potatoes enough where he can smash them. Then you can add some butter, some salt and pepper, some milk, and some half and half. And voila, easy and delicious mashed potatoes. Yum! Okay, let's talk about this delicious pumpkin pie recipe. Here are all of the ingredients that you're gonna need. Again, measurements and ingredients down below. For the pie crust, follow the instructions on your pie crust specifically. Ours required us to heat this up for 10 minutes. By the way, don't forget to preheat your oven to 375 degrees. For our pie filling, mix all of your ingredients in a large mixing bowl. Don't make a mess with the cinnamon like my husband did. By the way, this recipe uses Splenda, but you can just substitute it for sugar if that's your preference. Let your pie crust cool down a bit before you pour in your pie filling. Then bake your pie for 50 to 60 minutes or until the center is set. We let our pie cool down overnight, but you can also just wait a couple of hours until it's cool and it's ready to serve. And guys, I love this recipe. The pumpkin pie tastes amazing and you can't even tell that it's Splenda and not real sugar. And that is a wrap for our recipe section.
So for this last section, which is all about the tips and tricks for your Thanksgiving day to go smoothly, I wanted to sit here by the fireplace where it's nice and cozy to just have a one-on-one chat with you guys. So this first tip is kind of cliche, but it really is an important tip to make sure that everything goes smoothly, which is planning is key. You don't need to plan out everything a month ahead. Sometimes just doing a quick little to-do list or checklist 1 week in advance is enough for you to get everything done before D-Day or T-Day, I guess. So to make it a little bit easier for you, I'm going to leave a link down below of a checklist that I made of all the little things that you might want to do before Thanksgiving. The cool thing about this list is that it's not super long. I saw a couple of checklists that were really long and felt really daunting. So this is really just highlighting the most important parts that you shouldn't forget. I segmented it out into 4 parts, so things you should remember for 1 week before, 2 to 3 days before, the day before, and on Thanksgiving Day. Last year was the first time that I ever hosted, and I remembered that there were a couple of things that I forgot or things that I could have done sooner, so learn from my mistakes. The second tip is create a menu so that you can create a grocery list. Now, if you already have an idea of how many guests you're having and their food allergies and preferences, you probably already have a menu in mind. So grab a quick piece of paper or your notes app on your phone and write down all of the ingredients you need. That'll make it so that for Thanksgiving, you have all of the ingredients that you need in hand and you don't need to run to the supermarket to grab something last minute. So again, for your convenience, I created this grocery list. It comes with all of the items that you're going to need based out of the menu that I presented to you on this video. So keep that in mind. If there are any recipes or traditions that you want to incorporate, make sure you customize this list so it's according to all of the ingredients and all of the recipes that you're going to make. I also created this toolkit list. So these are all of the items that you'll need, like cooking tools, baking tools, dinnerware, serveware, anything that you're going to need to make and prepare and serve your dinner. These are honestly the items that I forgot the most last year. So by just doing a quick glance and checking if you have all of those items, you'll make sure that you won't need anything last minute. Tip number 3. Honestly, this tip is kind of dumb, but I'm going to include it in here anyways. Don't forget to defrost your chicken or your turkey or whatever main dish that you're going to do. Maybe this is just me. Maybe I'm dumb because I'm not the chef in my house, my husband is. I would have forgotten to unfreeze the turkey or chicken last year had my husband not said like, hey, let's go remove the chicken from the freezer. Keep that in mind. Don't forget to do that. It's the masterpiece, like the main piece of your dinner. For our chicken, for example, we had to leave it defrosting all day to then marinate it overnight and only cook it the next day. So don't forget to defrost it, and also don't forget to leave it marinating 24 hours before you're going to cook it. Just adding that in there, just in case. The 4th tip I will give you guys is delegate, delegate, delegate. You don't need to do all of these things on your own. You have friends and family that are coming over that not only are happy to delegate and do a couple of these things for you, but they want to feel like they're a part of your Thanksgiving planning. Make sure that you reach out to your closest friends and family to delegate a couple of the activities, maybe side dishes or desserts. That way, not only are you making sure that everybody feels included, but also it makes sure that you're not feeling super overwhelmed about all of these different dishes that you have to prepare. My last tip is also pretty cliche, but enjoy the moment. The holidays and Thanksgiving are all about enjoying time with the people that you love, whether that's your pet or your spouse or 50 people or friends. So with that in mind, I thought of a couple of activities that you can do that are super fun for this Thanksgiving. I'll start it with the most obvious one, which is the gratitude game. So typically this is done after Thanksgiving dinner, and each person in the table will list out one thing that they're grateful for. I think this is such a great opportunity for you to bond with your loved ones and get to know them a little bit better. It's a really sweet tradition, and you can even print out these little gratitude cards so that each person can write down what they're most grateful for on these cards, and that way you can keep that memory forever. Hits you right in the feels. The second activity that you can do is playing guessing games like Hangman or Charades or Jeopardy or Family Feud. My brother-in-law even has this game he found online that you can put specific questions and answers for your family. It's super fun. I'll see if I can find the name here and I'll pop it in the screen. But it's basically like a Family Feud, but for your family specifically. So it's super cool. And you can also play board games like Monopoly or Bingo, card games, Domino. These are all super fun games to play. And like I said, it really drives in that competitive edge of the family. My family grew up playing all of those games, and we had to stop actually because we got too competitive, if you know what I mean. So it's a nice little treat, especially if you have a lot of kids coming over. But anyways, there are so many more activities that you can do, like watching a marathon or a special movie, or having an ugly sweater contest, or doing a scavenger hunt. You could even sing karaoke and give a prize to whoever gets first place, and so many other cute ones. I even saw somebody on Reddit that said that their family watches Pride and Prejudice and then they have to stay in character throughout the whole day. I mean, that's genius. Really, this is the time to start your own traditions and make your own memories. So do whatever you think that your family and friends and loved ones will enjoy doing. All right, I've been talking for a good minute here, so that is it for me today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video and I hope that it's useful for you. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to like this video. Also, consider subscribing down below if you enjoy these types of videos where we talk about recipes, decor, home design, home improvement, all of that good stuff. And I'll see you all next time. Happy Thanksgiving. Bye.